So my name's Hannah Dunbar. I'm an optometrist at Moorfields Eye Hospital, and I'm also a postdoctoral research fellow at UCL Institute of Ophthalmology. So the talk was just to summarise the results of an audit that we carried out at Moorfields, looking at the rate of referrals from a paediatric glaucoma service to the low vision clinic, which is where I work as an optometrist. So if you take those 200 kids and you first exclude those who don't qualify on the basis of visual acuity and fields, and you exclude those, you're left with 72 kids. And if you then factor in the age, so we're not going to see people below the age of 4, that excludes another 22. So 50, or a quarter of the kids that we sampled, would qualify for referral to LVA. Rather disappointingly, only 13 of those were either referred or had already been referred, and that they'd already been seen in the low vision clinic, leaving 37 not referred, so missed opportunity to refer these kids. Back in 2017, we did an audit, more general, just to look at the outcomes of our paediatric low vision service. And there we looked at where the referrals were coming from within the hospital. And I think we had 155 kids, and only 4 of them came from glaucoma. But we have about 45 to 60 patients a week coming through the glaucoma service, and glaucoma, as you know, is going to cause, or at least have, a significant risk of visual impairment. So certainly more children, in my mind, should have been referred, and the audit was really designed to test that hypothesis. The method was retrospective, so we were able to look at 200 kids who'd come through the glaucoma service, and then we could look at what their diagnosis was, what their vision was, whether they had any visual field loss, and from there you can work out if they would be eligible for referral to our low vision clinic, because that's the basis on which we make referrals. So we have information on these 200 children that were seen in glaucoma, and we could look at their visual acuity and their visual field results to look at whether they would be eligible for referral to our service. So from that 200 we could say, okay, how many would be eligible for referral, and then how many were and how many weren't. And that was basically the main findings of the study. We also wanted to look at whether there were any other factors that might influence someone's likelihood of being referred, so whether that was maybe what their level of vision was or what type of clinician saw them, and we looked at a range of factors. We didn't see any other systematic referral bias for age, acuity, gender, consultant code, or professional class. I had in my mind that maybe the kids that were seen by optoms might be referred a bit more, but unfortunately I wasn't able to show that. Well, ideally I would like to find that everybody that could be referred was referred, but because of the original audit I mentioned, I expected that wouldn't be the case, and unfortunately I was proved right. So about 25% of the kids that were coming through the glaucoma service would have been eligible for referral, but only about 25% of those actually made it to us. So 75% who could have been referred weren't referred at all. So that was a little bit of a shame, really, a bit alarming, because in the low vision service, we're really thinking about the practical implications of a child having visual impairment and what that means to them like in their life in general, but a really big focus on education. So to make sure that the barriers created by having a visual impairment are minimized as much as possible. And within that, we'd be looking at optical correction. So if they got the right glasses, do they need any magnification? But a lot of the appointment is spent talking about the different types of adaptations they need in school. So that would involve writing to their school, writing to teachers with the parents' consent to explain this child has this level of vision, this is what it means for them practically, so here are some recommendations you should make, but also to make sure that the children are linked into the appropriate support services around, so that being known to the SENCO, or the Special Educational Needs Coordinator at their school, and having a referral to a qualified teacher of visual impairment. So you spend a lot of time with the children and you cover really quite a lot, so it's a little bit alarming to think that there are potentially this cohort of kids that we aren't giving that service to. So in conclusion, 25% of those kids would have been eligible for LVA, and only about a quarter of them were actually referred, leaving 3/4 of them not referred. And as I said, there is this bias toward children being referred if they're already registered.